आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमतो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदं माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्तु अनिराकरणं मे अस्तु ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ. May I be healthy. May all the body organs be in healthy condition. May I not reject the Brahman. May the Brahman may not reject me. Let me develop all the values as explained by Upanishads. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Dear devotees, the last class, the FIR reduction program and the 3C was quite interesting, I believe, and quite a few people did send their messages saying that it was quite impressive or rather quite beneficial, by which it can really help us to understand our life, to understand our mind, to handle our mind, etc. And of course, some more bombshells with regarding to the practical aspect of Advaita Vedanta, I am going to explain or mention at the end of this class. So just you can hold on your inquisitiveness. Then we will go to the sloka number 3. Now, if you remember the earlier classes, we were discussing what is that, or the question was, what is the divine principle which is present in every being, which makes every being alive? So that was asked in a different way, by which the mind is thinking, by which the eye is able to see, ear is able to hear, the mind is able to think, the prana is able to do its actions and all. And the answer was given in the second sloka, which is very important mantra. In the second mantra, that is the spiritual principle or the non-material principle, or the word they used by the Rishi or the Guru is Devaha, the shining ones, the divine principle, which is different from the organs, but that which makes the organs alive and sentient. Okay. And sometimes people do mistake that it is the prana, the life energy, which makes us alive, which makes us, which is an substratum on which every action is done. That is what many people or some people, they do argue or they do think, but it is not so. Even the prana, the life energy, also borrows the energy from the consciousness. Why in the Sanskrit, every living being is called prani. In India, some vernacular languages, prani is been called as animals. Animals are called prani. But in Sanskrit, originally, anyone who has got prana, all of them are known as prani. So human being is a prani. Animals like birds, reptiles, mammals, all of them are prani. Even for that matter, if the plants have got a life, prana, even there also can be considered as prani. So the divine principle, which is none other than consciousness, the Rishi didn't use the word consciousness, but he did mention that the consciousness is the central principle by which we are living, by which every sense organ is able to perform its actions. Now, whether the sense organs are able to get the energy, derive the energy directly from the consciousness or the divine principle, if you ask, the Drugdrisha Viveka tells no. It is through the mind they all get. Okay. Now, what is the advantage of studying Vedanta and all? I will tell in the last. Now we will go to the third sloka. Na tatra chakshur gacchati, na vaggacchati no manaha, na vidmo na vijanimo, yetaita anushishyat. Now, In the second mantra, it was called Sutra Bhuta Mantra. Sutra Bhuta Mantra means it is the very important mantra. The whole Upanishad is on that mantra basically. So here it was Sutra Bhuta Mantra. In Taittiriya Upanishad, if you have studied, they will say Brahma Vidapnoti Param. That is the Sutra Bhuta Mantra there. Anyhow. Now, in the very important mantra which we discussed for 2 classes, there the Rishi or the teacher has explained or has given the definition of the Rishi or the definition of the Deva, the consciousness of the shining principle. Shrotasya Shrotram Manaso Manoyat. So that is the definition of the Deva, that is the definition of the consciousness. Okay, but how to know that? What is the mode, or how to know that Deva? How to know that consciousness? If you ask, that has not been explained, that has not been told. So the Rishi has not explained how to identify this divine principle or the divine principle. So that has been explained in the third mantra. So now, before going to that, I would like to explain or rather introduce 2 or 3 important topics now, which is pertaining to epistemology. Epistemology means the study of the knowledge in itself. Episteme means knowledge in itself. What is knowledge? There's a beautiful conversational style in the Greek philosophy that is called theaetetus. Theaetetus is the conversation between the Socrates and the Theaetetus, who was the mathematician. So what is the conversation there? What is knowledge? What is knowledge in itself? It's a very interesting epistemological work. Anyhow, now I would like to explain 2 or 3 technical words. Sometimes it can be a bit technical and it can be a bit boring. Some of you might feel that, so please bear with me now. Okay. Now, through the which mode we can understand the divine principle. So that mode is called pramana. Pramana means instrument of knowledge. Now, I am speaking and you are all hearing. So this is called perception. Perception means what? You are directly experiencing it. How? Through the ear organ. Now I say there is a cap. There is a cap. How do you say that? Oh, because I'm seeing. I'm seeing through my eye organ, sense organ called eye. So it is a direct perception. That is called pratyaksha pramana. But that is direct perception. Okay, example. Now, to happen this pramana, to identify the subject, we need some sense organs and other things, fine. But we also need features. The features is called lakshana. So pramana means instrument of knowledge and lakshana means it is called features or a definition. Now, how to understand that? Now, I ask a child to go and bring the chair. Now, either the child should know or child might have know or child should know or any person that what is chair. By experience or by hearing or by description or whatever. Then the child or any person can bring the chair from the room. Say if I say that, oh, go and bring the object. Now people will ask which object, what object you are referring to, because there can be many objects in the room. If there are no objects, if there is only one object, yes, contextually one can understand. Otherwise, then the question immediately will come, okay, there are many objects. There is a light bulb, there is a chair, there is a table, there is a book, there is a chocolate, there are some photos. So when you say bring an object, what object you are saying? Then I say, oh, well, okay, you bring the chair. Okay, then a person who knows about the chair, they will bring. If not, then he will go and scratch his head, which is the chair he is referring to. Then I have to say, oh, an object which has got 4 legs. Now, if there is a table in that room, the table also has got 4 legs. Then he might miss and bring the four-legged table instead of chair. Then to avoid it, I will say, an object which has got 4 chairs, which has got a backrest, and people can sit. Now, table doesn't have a backrest because people can sit on the table, no doubt, but it doesn't have a backrest. And if there's an armchair, then we'll say there is a armrest also. So which has got a 4 legs, which has got a base to sit, which has got armrest, and which has got backrest. So that is called chair, my dear. Can you go and bring the chair from that particular room or next room? So more or less, we have given the definition and as well as the features of the chair. So then XYZ, who doesn't know what is chair, XYZ can go and fetch the chair more or less from the next room. So this is called features or definition of an object. So that is called Lakshana. Now that Lakshana has been explained in the second shloka, in the second mantra. But now, how did that fellow was able to bring the chair? Now, 2 things has happened. First, he heard the description which I gave. He heard, again, direct perception. Then he went and he saw. When he saw, then he was able to identify with all the features. Then he bought a thing. So again, he was able to see. It is direct perception. Okay. Now, for an example, a person who cannot see, a blind person. Then I say, okay, there are all the features I explained. And if I had said, okay, there are multiple chairs, multiple type of chairs in the room, the chair which is blue colored chair, you bring it. Then the blind person cannot make out which is blue color. He can make out from the shape, no doubt, any other things, but he cannot. So that means what? His instruments is because of the, what do you say, lack of instrument, presence of lack of instrument, he cannot bring the blue chair. He can bring chair, but not the blue chair because he cannot see. So one is that he should know the features, the definition of the object, the first and foremost, and he should also have the perfect an instrument of knowledge by which he can understand. So that instrument of knowledge is called pramana. Okay, now we have got 6 type of instruments of knowledge. Just I will mention, I will not go to the details, and then we'll go to the sloka. Otherwise it becomes too technical. Okay, the first is pratyaksha. Pratyaksha means perception, direct perception. I am seeing, I am hearing, I am touching, tasting, anything which is from the 5 sense organs of knowledge, which we can get the knowledge from directly from the 5 sense organs of knowledge. That is what pratyaksha, perception. The second is anumana. Anumana means inference. Now, the standard example is given is hill is smoky. Now, hill is smoky because in those days there could be villages behind the mountain. That we should keep it in the mind in the valleys. In those days, now the present we have got electric stoves and gas stoves. No smokes will be there, so we can't think that. In the olden days, we used to use firewood. That we should imagine. So there we see, for an example, the hill on there's a hill distant few kilometers away, but there is a smoky. We are able to see the smoke. So when I see the smoke on the hill, immediately we infer, what is that? That means there is a fire there. There is a fire accident. Why? There is a relationship between fire and smoke. Wherever there is a fire, there will be smoke. How do you know that there's a concomitant relationship between fire and smoke? Wherever there is a fire, there will be smoke. Or sorry, wherever there is a smoke, there will be fire. Because in our kitchen, every day we see there is a smoke, mother is cooking using firewood, and we see smoke. So wherever there is smoke, there is a fire. So I am not seeing directly the fire, but I am inferring that the hill has got a fire. Why? Because I am able to see the smoke. So there's a relationship between smoke and the fire. Because of that, I inferred that there is a fire. So this is called inference. Okay. Then the third is upamana. Upamana means comparison, analogy. Means there is an animal. You are going to forest, my dear, first time. So there is an animal. Be careful with that animal. Okay. So the Sanskrit they say Gavya. I mean, what is that? It is a wild ox. Oh, wild ox. Oh, be careful about wild ox. Okay. How to understand that? How to recognize that it is the wild ox? Oh, it will be like similar to cow. It will be similar to cow. So it is a like comparison. Now we will understand that. I mean, we will say, I mean, on the lighter side, there are five people. Among them, you should recognize John. Then I said, oh, when you go there, five people, you can recognize easily John. Then you will say, or anyone can say, oh, my dear, I've never seen John. How can you give some explanation? Can you help me to find out the John? Oh, the person who can be the most shabbiest person is the John. If you see any shabby clothes in that group, that means he's a John. So John has been compared to shabby person or whatever. I mean, just I'm giving a very crude example. So comparison basically. Okay. The fourth one is arthapatti. Arthapatti means postulation. Now, when we go deeply into philosophy, we discuss ours together in all these things, epistemology. Okay. There's a very funny example they give with the postulation. There is a Sanskrit statement, Pino Devadatta Divana Bhunkte. So there was a person by name Devadatta. He was obese. He was very fat in this. I mean, he was very fat or he was obese basically. But he never used to take food daytime, it seems. The people used to live with him. They used to see whole day, more or less they stayed. But he never used to eat. But at the same time, he was well built and he was very stout. Then they assume, oh, whole day he's not eating, not one day, of course. It is for a few weeks or a month. I mean, we don't see him, he doesn't eat at all, but still he's obese. That means he eats stealthily or eats coveringly nighttime. He doesn't eat daytime, he eats nighttime. So this is called postulation. Rather, in English, they say circumstantial inference. Okay. The fifth one is anupalabdhi. Anupalabdhi means non-cognition. For example, every day you used to go to office and there is to be a watchman, security guard. And that day, when you go to office, at the entrance, there is no security guard. So the absence of a person, you are able to experience the absence of a person and you are understanding that he is not there. The security guard is not there. So this is called non-cognition. So, I mean, again, I'm giving all simple examples. When we go into the philosophical debates, these will have very fine level of arguments, fine thread of arguments and all. And the sixth one is Shabda Pramana, that is verbal testimony. That is for us here, Vedas. Okay. Now the question might come, Swamiji, you started Natatta Chakshur Gacchati. Okay. But why did you bring all these things? Well, you are a philosophy student, you might be interested in that, you have studied all that, but we want to know only Upanishads, probably. But why did you bring all these things and why are you making it complicated or whatever? Oh, my dear, no. It is just to make you understand that when I say Natatta Chakshur Gacchati, so he is negating all these pramanas. So the teacher is giving a warning here, which is an embedded ideas thinking here, is that negate all the conventional instruments of knowledge. Now, whatever the instruments of knowledge now I have spoken, all the pramanas, through any one of this pramana, you cannot comprehend the Atman or the Brahman or the consciousness or the Deva here. Pratyaksha pramana, eyes cannot see, ears cannot hear, taste. Oh, Atman is so delicious. No. Pasta is delicious, pizza is delicious, no doubt. Atman is delicious. Atman is very bland. I mean, there is a joke, there is a joke. I mean, in a cartoon, I had read the old cartoon that the discussion goes like this. A Irish fellow is discussing with an European, Irish fellow or UK, because in those days, UK and Ireland, everything was in one, under the British rule. So he's from either Irish or UK. That fellow is discussing with one more European about the food. The European asks, oh, my dear, how is your Irish or English food? Is it tastier? Is it tasty or bland? In that sense, he's asking. He makes a beautiful statement. Oh, that is very simple to answer. What is that? If you make Irish food properly, then it will not be delicious. If you cook the Irish food properly, then it will not be delicious. It will be very bland. That's what he meant. Now, like that, is Brahman is delicious or bland or spicy or no, nothing, because Brahman is beyond this taste. Does he look beautiful? How does he look? Beautiful, ugly? No. Okay. Has he got good sound? And no. Okay. Is he soft? Is he hard? Is he hot? Is he cold? No. Because Atman is beyond the touch, sense of touch. So, sense, direct perception, pratyaksha pramana is not possible at all. When there is no possible evidence from the five sense organs of knowledge, that is, pratyaksha is not possible, anumana will not be possible. So like this, every pramana, every instrument of knowledge, the five instruments of knowledge, pratyaksha, anumana, till anupalabdhi, nothing is possible. I mean, through any of these conventional instrument of knowledge, we cannot comprehend the Atman, we cannot comprehend the Brahman. Okay. That's what he is saying. Tatra chakshur nagachati. Now you will be able to understand. Tatra, there, where that Deva, Atman, Brahman, consciousness, there, chakshuhu nagachati. Eyes doesn't go there. Oh, is it locked? Or is it prohibited area? Or is it a restricted area? Oh no, none of them, my dear. Then why eyes doesn't go there means eyes doesn't go there means what? Eyes sees things. When when eye is seeing a wall, that means eye is going there. In that way, they are using the usage here. So I cannot go there means what? Eyes cannot comprehend it. Eyes cannot see it. For example, eyes cannot see even amoeba also. We need a different instruments. But can it be used different instruments, advanced microscope, telescope through which we can understand the Brahman? No. So tatra chakshuhu nagachati. So eyes does not operate or comprehend because it is the divine principle. Now here tatra chakshur nagachati, you have to include all the five sense organs. Tatra vak nagachati, or tatra jivha nagachati, tatra shrotra nagachati, tatra grana nagachati. All the five sense organs of knowledge should be added here. Okay. That's where beautifully, if you remember the Mundaka Upanishad, in 1.1.6, I think, in the sixth mantra, they say, Yat tad adreshyam. Adreshyam means what? Atman cannot be seen by our naked eyes. Mundaka Upanishad also says that. Yeah. Why? It is not an object. Okay, so that's where now you can see very well why the science cannot prove the existence of consciousness or existence of this subject or Atman. Why? Here very clearly we can understand if you think deeply. Now, okay, all the five sense organs of knowledge cannot comprehend the Atman, Swamiji, you said. We understand. Now, why did you bring science here? What is the science and consciousness linking here? Why? Because how the scientific method works. Scientific method works on collection of data. Now, no data is available about the existence of Atman. Oh, did you see the Atman? No. Did X, did Y, Z, A, B, C? No. Then no data is available. That means Atman does not exist. That's how the logical positivists in the Vienna Circle, 18th century, they said metaphysics is meaningless. Why? It cannot be proven. When I say, for an example, what do you say? Elephant exists. I can prove it. I can show and I can prove it. So an acid exists. I can show it. I can prove it. Similarly, if God exists, consciousness exists, soul exists, if I say they're mere statements, it cannot be proven. Means it cannot be objectifiable. It cannot, it cannot, like objectively, it cannot be shown. That's the reason they came into conclusion that metaphysics is meaningless. It's a waste of time. Why? Science is depending on the objects, data collection. Now here, no data collection is possible. Why? It is not comprehensible by any five sense organs of knowledge. Okay. Now, gachati. It cannot be explained by the words. Now, all our words we coin, it is based on experience of the world actually, which is experienced either through your mind and through your sense organs of knowledge, which is the nature of to mac. If you remember TOMAC, to mac in the last class or before last class I told, if you remember, you can imagine. That's the one thing. And interestingly, the speech can describe any object if it is either one or two or three categories, which has got a form. An object which has got a form, then only speech can describe it. Okay, then either it should have a form, if not, it should have some quality at least. It should have some quality, or it should be perceptible, or it should be perceivable through action. Either form or any quality or any action, then only speech can explain. Speech can try to reach it, or it is accessible to speech. Speech means here words basically. So form, actions, and quality. Now, self doesn't have any form. Okay. Then self doesn't have any qualities. Then self is actionless. I am lazy. I am highly active. Okay. I am sleeping, I am eating, I am drinking, I am hearing, I am talking, whatever it may be, body and mind, self doesn't do anything. Self is beyond actions. So self doesn't have form, self doesn't have any qualities, self is beyond action. That's a reason, na vagachati. Even the speech cannot reach there means what? It cannot be explained. That's where Sri Ramakrishna comes, beautifully he tells that. It is not defied. Sri Ramakrishna says in a simple statement, there is only one thing in the world which is not defied by the tongue, which is that is what the Brahman. He uses in a very local language, in a very simple way. That means what? It cannot be explained. Why? It has no form, it has no qualities, it has no action. Okay. Tatra na chakshur gachati. So tatra na gachati, tatra gachati, you have to keep on adding everywhere. So namanaha, namanaha tatra gachati means mind cannot reach there. There means where again? That Deva or Brahman. So mind cannot reach. Why? Because to grasp anything, mind only can grasp a thing, an object which has got name and form. You show me any object or anything which doesn't have name and form, and if the mind can grasp. Oh, you grasp a beautiful object which doesn't have any name and form. Then mind goes blank. Mind stops and start getting confused. What? I have to think an object which doesn't have any name and form. What? Nothing. Blankness. At least darkness will get. So without name and form, mind cannot grasp. Or ideas, feelings, forms, something it should be there, then only mind can grasp. And interestingly, if you see, mind only can transact, mind only can work at the duality level. Knower and the known, seer and the seen, experiencer and the experienced. So mind cannot work beyond duality. That's why in the Nirvikalpa Samadhi, what happens? Mind gets dissolved. Mind stops working. In the Vedantic Nirvikalpa Samadhi, you can say, or Asampragna Samadhi of the yogis say. There also mind stops that work. Then only Asampragna Samadhi comes into picture. So mind only works at the level of duality actually. Now the self is non-dual, advaita, not two. They are not saying it is one. They are saying not two. Not two includes not 3, 4, 5, 10 million also, of course. So not two means what? It is one. It is one if I have to say, then in relation to what you are saying one, they will say. That means you are presupposing, or there may be things two, there may be things three. That's why you are saying one, isn't it? So that's why they don't say it is one, they say it is not two. Advaita, not two. Means that's only one, anyhow. So namanaha tatra gacchati. Why? Because it is not object. It cannot be objectifiable. It is a subject and it does not have any name. Oh, you are using the word Atman, Brahman, consciousness and all. Oh, it is only limitation. Otherwise people will go mad. So, and it doesn't have any form, no feelings, no anything. And it is non-dual. Okay. So, natatra chakshur gacchati. So, all the five sense organs of knowledge through which you cannot understand, comprehend the Atman, navag gacchati. It cannot be explained. Okay. Navag, na manaha. It cannot be comprehended by mind. Because some things which cannot be comprehended by mind, but still we can comprehend by mind, by sense organs, if not by mind. For example, feeling. Feeling is not perceptible by the sense organs all the times, but mind can perceive feelings actually. So that's why namanaha are sensible, very sensational things and all. Okay. Now the disciple, imagine a disciple who asked the question, imagine his status. Oh my dear, nothing is possible through which mode I can understand this Brahman or Atman or Deva. He might be getting disappointed. Not five sense organs of knowledge, not mind, nothing. Oh my dear. That means it is better to say that it cannot be known. It cannot be known, so it doesn't exist. It is better to tell. So probably he might be getting this type of idea, or he might be thinking, my dear sir, revered sir, so since it cannot be explained, it cannot be reached, it cannot be told, let us end this class by chanting Purnamadaha, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnamudat. Let us end that at least with Purna. So probably that's where teacher wanted to give some positive hope. He started with the second line of the mantra, Na vidmaha. We do not know. No, so it is not that only you don't know, my dear. Even I also do not know. Don't worry. So now you will feel little solace. Oh, okay. No one knows. Okay. I am not only the fool. There are whoever is in this room. Everyone is fool, it seems. Then it is all right. It's a typical India, a typical thinking for us many of the time, if you see. We have experienced in our school days, in our childhood days. In those days in India, we used to get a power cut. Okay. Now there is a power cut in the house. Evening there is a power cut. Since there was a power cut in the house, Europe and all we don't see, of course, but in the developing countries, in the third grade countries, we see all these things. So now there is a power cut. Then what to do? Just we come out. Now everywhere there is a power cut in the village or in the road, then people sit and start chatting, talking or whatever. Now there was a power cut in our house. I came out, but I see there is everywhere power except my home. Except in my home. Then I get terribly disturbed. What? In my home it is not there. What happened? Then I may scold the electric board fellow, or I may try to find out or whatever. Now there is a power cut. The elders are sitting in the house. Then the children went out to play or whatever. Then they went and immediately they came and they said, "Oh my dear granny, even in the neighbor houses there is no power cut." Then we said, "Oh, okay, that means it is all right." So when there's a problem for everyone, no problem. When there's a problem for only for us, then there's a problem. This is what our hardwired brain keeps on thinking. Now, when the Guru says, my dear, don't worry, it is not that only you know, even I also do not know, or we also do not know, the teachers, the rishis, then he might feel solace. Navid Maha, we do not know. Now we hear one more important thing is, interesting thing is, teacher is sincere. He's telling very clearly, my dear, even we also do not know. He's not giving any unnecessary statements or whatever. Okay. Because I do not know means, we do not know means what? Teacher is telling, he's admitting that I do not know through any mode by which I can teach this Brahman about that Brahman or Atman or the Deva. So through no mode or the instrument of knowledge, pramana, we can reach it. Why? Because Atma is aprameya. Aprameya means no instrument can reveal. Prameya means what? An object of knowledge. Pramana means instrument of knowledge. Prameya means an object of knowledge. How is ice cream? First time I'm enjoying the Baskin Robinson ice cream, for an example. How is ice cream? Ice cream is so delicious. So ice cream is an object of experience, prameya. So ice cream is objectifiable because ice cream can be experienced by tongue or even by skin. It is cold because of that. Now Atman is aprameya. That's where in most of the Sahasranamas, this aprameya word is mostly we use. Even in the Vishnu Sahasranama, aprameyo rushi keshaha, or in Lalita Sahasranama, aprameyo swaprakasha. Like that, it keeps on coming. Means even Divine Mother or the Vishnu, the Lord Vishnu, cannot be comprehended by mind. It is they are all aprameya. So Atman is also aprameya. Okay, that is what told by Navidmaha. न विजानीमः यथा एतत् अनुशिष्यात्. So, my dear, and the question might come for in the guru's mind now. Oh, I also do not know means the student will understand. Oh, my teacher doesn't know that. That's why he's telling all these things not possible. Then better I should change my teacher now. Because this fellow doesn't know, he's sincere enough. I understand and appreciate. I really appreciate his sincerity. Then better I will go to assist to the guru who knows this. That has been also negated here. Na vijani maha yatha etat anushishyat. Not only me, even other gurus, the whole guru parampara or the lineage of gurus. We all gurus as a group, none of us we are aware of the process by which the Brahman can be taught, Brahman can be shown or instructed or whatever. So it is not that I only do not know, even no other gurus or rishis know through which mode which we can explain this. Because if any pramana, if any instrument of knowledge can reveal it, it becomes prameya. If it becomes prameya means what? It is objectifiable, it becomes an object. So basically here we are trying to tell it is not an object, it is a subject. Okay. Now the teacher gives some hope in the next mantra. Now that let us try to understand, which is very interesting one. In the fourth mantra. अन्यदेव तद विदितात् अथो अविदिताददि इति सुष्टुम पूर्वेशाम येनस्तद व्याचचक्षिरे. Okay. Now, if you remember, no pramana can directly reveal Brahman, the divine principle that you have understood now. But though there is no direct method which can explain, which can reveal that Brahman what it is, or which can explain what it is. Okay. It is not explained actually to reach it actually. It is a mode. Now in the fourth mantra, the Rishi is telling very clearly, but my dear, there is an indirect method of revealing this divine principle. Oh, there is no access, direct access to the minister, but there is a small door through which one can reach the minister. There is an indirect way. Oh, there is a friend of the minister. You catch him, through that you can reach the minister, you can access the minister. It's an indirect method. Okay. So what is that indirect method here? It is Shabda Pramana. Shabda Pramana means what? Verbal testimony. Okay, now let us try to understand. Means this verbal testimony is what I got from my guru. So Vedas means it is a scripture, it is not a book, it is a revelatory text. It has given by Narayana, from Narayana to, so it is like a Padma Bhuva, Vashishta, Shakti, Parashar, like that, the lineage comes. Basically, it is a revealed text in here. Okay. Now, Iti Shushruma, in the second line, if you see, Iti Shushruma. Iti Shushruma means we have heard. Oh, my dear, don't think that it is mine. So it is not mine, my dear. I have heard. We have heard. I have heard. From whom? We have heard these things, these teachings, these words from whom? Purvesham. Purvesham means from the ancient teachers, from my gurus. So whatever I'm going to tell you, my dear, it is not my words. I don't have any copyright. It is belong to my guru. And for him, he heard from his guru. He heard from his guru. So it has been parampara, from lineage. Okay. So iti shushuma purvesham ye naha tad vyacha chakshire. Ye means who revealed. Naha means to us. Tad Vyachachakshire revealed that methodology. Because what is that methodology you are asking, isn't it? So there is no direct methodology to reach the Brahman that has been explained in the third mantra. Now here he is telling that there is an indirect methodology, and how do you know that? Who did tell you? If you ask, my dear, I have heard from the ancient ones, from my gurus. From my earlier teachers, I have heard that methodology. They revealed me that methodology. So, what is that methodology that has been embedded in one line in the fourth mantra? So, what is that methodology? Let us try to understand now. Okay. Anyat eva tat viditad. So, tat means the divine principle. So they are using always pronouns many times or neutral gender. Why? Because Brahman is neither he nor she. It is it. That's why in Upanishads always Brahman is used as it, it, it. It is not non-living being. It is neutral gender because it is neither male or female. And many times they also use pronoun. Tat means that. That means what? Deva, divine principle, consciousness. Viditat, anyat. Anyat, viditat means which is it is something different from all the known objects. So there is already one caution I have given. So it can be shown only through indirect method. Oh, Swamiji, you are always using the indirect word, passive voice, indirect sentence and all. Yes, that's the only way we can understand. So viditad anyata means it is something which is different from all the known objects. Means it is different from the known. It is different from the knowable, or it is different from the known. Then the logical conclusion question will come, oh, is it unknowable? That's what you are trying to break my head to telling all this time. It is unknowable, unknowable, unknowable. So because you are saying that it is not knowable, it is not knowable, that means is it unknowable? Because viditam means what? Known. Viditad anyata means what? It is different from all the knowables. Viditad anyata, it is different from all the knowables. Is it unknowable then? Then that is also been negated now. Ataha, atho, ataha, aviditadadhi. Ataha, moreover, my dear, so don't come to conclusion, my dear, just hold on, hold on. Ataha, moreover, adhi means here, anyata actually, it is different. Anyata only they are used word, different word, synonym adhi. Aviditad, unknown. Means this divine principle is different from unknown. First one is viditad anyat. It is different from the knowable. And aviditad adi means it is different from unknown. So this subject or the divine principle is different from the knowable. It is different from the unknowable. Then what else is there? Is it knowable and unknowable also? Permutation combination we shall use. It is not knowable. It is not unknowable. Okay, it is the knowable unknowable. No, that is not. That is also not there. So basically, we are telling them that it is different from the object. It is not an object. Our mind always objectifies. So this is the very interesting point on this. The whole Kenopanishad teaching is there. In my first class itself, I told very clearly. The moment when I say this is Brahman, we objectify it. So it is not objectifiable. That's what they are go on. They are trying to break their heads. They're trying breaking their heads to make us understand that it is not knowable. It is not objectifiable. It is not knowable. It is not objectifiable. Then you say better, Swamiji. It is not knowable. It is not unknowable. It is neither knowable, unknowable. Then it does not exist. It is better to say simple and straightforward and honest answer as logical positivist said, or atheist says, or the materialist says, or even the some of the science people they say. Then the Vedanta says, my dear, there is one more option, my dear. Why are you not thinking that? What is that? When I say it is not knowable, it is not unknowable, that means it is not an object. That means it is an subject. Why don't you think of that option, my dear? Because it is not knowable, unknowable, it doesn't exist. Why don't you tell that? Why do you think like that? There is one more option. It is not knowable, unknowable means it is not an object, rather it is a subject. That's why they use Deva, spiritual or shining. Shining means what? Non-material. It is conscious principle. It is a non-material principle. It is a spiritual principle. It is a subject. It is an experiencer. It can never be experienced. Oh, can't I experience I am that Atman? To experience the Atman, you need a mind, but otherwise it is never the experience. It is never the experienced. It is the only the experiencer. Okay, now I will tell afterwards. I will give an example, probably, then you will understand. Otherwise, it can go above the head. Now, eyes. How did you see all the objects which we are seeing in our day-to-day life? That is through the eyes. Okay. Then someone says, "Oh, my dear, your eyes look so beautiful." Is it? My eyes look beautiful. I can't see my own eyes. Eyes can see everyone, everything, but poor eye cannot see itself. If the eye has to see it has to go in the glass mirror in front of them. Then they say, "Oh, someone said my eyes are looking beautiful. Is it so?" I have to confirm. To see my own eyes, I need a mirror. I need a reflecting object. For example, to touch everything, I use this finger for an example. Fingers, we use it. But can this fingertip of the forefinger, can it touch itself? No. It can touch everything, but it cannot touch itself. So similarly, because of the presence of consciousness, everything is known, but to aware of consciousness of itself, something else is required. That is what mind or reflecting medium. So subject can never be the object, seer can never be the seen. That is what they are telling. So knowing the divine principle, which is non-material in nature, there is only one possible way, which is hidden in this first line. That's why it is embedded. It is not knowable, it is not unknowable. It is neither knowable nor unknowable. What does it mean? It is the subject. Okay. The Vedanta is indirectly telling that, claim that, oh fool, I am that divine principle. When the Advaita Vedanta, the Upanishad, the Rishi is saying that it is neither knowable or it is unknowable, means what? I am the divine principle. Claim that. That's what Vedanta is trying to make us understand. Simple. Straightforward answer, actually. Why? Aham Brahmasmi, I am that Brahman, means I and Brahman, there are not two different things, my dear. I am the Brahman and Brahman is I. So claim that I am that non-material principle. I am that Deva. I am that consciousness. There is nothing else. There is no one else, or there is nothing else to think of about that Deva. I am that Deva. That's the only possible solution here, my dear. That is what the Vedanta is indirectly teaching, which is in a embedded form. I am not the object, I am the subject, I am the divine principle here. That is what has been embedded in the first line of the fourth mantra. Okay. Now I am not the ear, but I am the divine principle which pervades and enlivens the ear, by which ear can hear. I am not the eye, but I am present in the eye, by which I can function it can do its function and it can see. I am not the mind, but I am in the mind through which mind can think. That is the beauty. Now, based on this, there can be 5 features of consciousness can be understood, which is very best. The whole essence of Vedanta can be understood in this. What is that? The first is, I am the consciousness which is different from the body, mind, sense organs, everything you can say, and which is not the part, product, or property of the body. I am not the part of the body. I am not the property of the body. I am not the product of the body. Rather, I am the consciousness which is different from any of them. Okay, there's the first feature now you should understand. I'm putting very mathematically everything. I hope you are able to understand. The second is what? I am the consciousness. So claim that I am that consciousness. Consciousness is not something else, it is somewhere else. I am that consciousness, which is an independent principle which pervades and enlivens the body, mind, and prana and everything. I am that conscious principle, which pervades and enlivens. everywhere. The third is, I am that consciousness which is not limited by the boundaries of this body. The fourth is, I survive even after the fall of the body. The fifth is what? I am the pure consciousness. I am the pure consciousness in the absence of the body, which is not available. I am not available if there is no body and mind. So there is no care of address for me. So I am not available if there is no body and mind. Uh, is not accessible for any transaction. Many times people ask, Swamiji, when a person dies, what happens to consciousness? What happens to self? Where does it travel? Poor consciousness, what happens to it? What is its condition? I say, consciousness doesn't travel anywhere, my dear. How? Then how the dead, why the person is called dead? Because the reflecting medium called Sukshma Sharira has departed the physical body. That's why such person is called dead. Does that mean consciousness exists in the dead body? Yes. Then what happens to consciousness? Nothing happens to consciousness. Either during the birth or before the birth, after the birth, before the death, after the death, during the death, nothing happens to consciousness. Everything happens to only body and mind. But we are thinking that it is happening to me. Me means what here? Consciousness. So I am that consciousness which is unchangeable, unperturbed, unaffected by the birth and death. That is my real nature. But unfortunately, I am thinking that I am getting affected by the birth and death. So this is what they are telling. So claim that I am that consciousness principle, non-material principle or spiritual principle. I am not, I am beyond the knowable. I am beyond the unknowable means what? I am neither knowable, unknowable means I am not the object. I am the subject. And Atman is subject or Deva is subject and I am that Deva. That's the only way we can resolve this issue. Now, the question might come for all of us, okay, oh, it is like a idealism. I think Descartes and all they say, oh, I think, therefore I exist. Many times, many people, they confuse with Advaitism with idealism. Is Advaita is idealism? I say Advaita is not idealism. It is an absolutism. Absolutism means what? It tells about the absolute truth or absolute. Okay. The idealists, they say. The realists say the world exists. Fine. It is irrespective of whether you perceive it or not. The idealists say, I think, therefore I exist. Oh, that makes sense. It is like Advaitic statement. No, if you think that it is an Advaitic statement, that means you have not understood Advaita. Then what Advaita says? I am there, therefore I think. See, the idealists say, I think, therefore I exist. The Advaita says, I am there, I exist, therefore I think. This is the fundamental, very subtle difference between the idealism and the Advaitism or absolutism. I exist, therefore I think. Anyhow, it's just one, what do you say, philosophical, just a pun. So consciousness is self-evident. Okay, so Brahman is aprameya. Brahman is aprameya. So now you can understand why did I bring epistemology, pramanas, and all these things. Okay. Now, the question might come. Okay, Swamiji, all these things you told very nicely, beautifully, mathematically, or whatever. We also tried to understand and we hope that we have understood or whatever. Fine. But now by studying Vedanta, what I am going to get? My bank balance will be increased? No. Do I get a promotion in my job? No. I'm searching for my job. If I attend Vedanta class, if I understand Brahmagnana, will I get job? None of them. Then why should I listen to it? Then why should I practice it? If you think, then first and foremost, as Advaita Vedanta says, here Atimuchya Dira, in the first month, in the second mantra itself, we saw that we attain the immortality. Means we will be free from the cycle of birth and death. We means again body and mind, not the self. Oh, I don't mind, Swamiji, taking birth and death. That's all okay. I don't mind. Then we say, then Tata bye bye. Vedanta is not for you, my dear. whoever wants to get away from this cycle of birth and death, whoever means here individual, which is body mind complex, that pseudo ego or embedded self, Jivatma, who wants to come out from this cycle of birth and death, who wants to be free, who wants to achieve immortality, for them we are here. If you are not interested, then you have come to the wrong address. Please go and find out the right address. Means whatever you want. Okay, so immortality or the free from cycle of birth and death is achieved, the first and foremost. The second is, if you remember my earlier class, FIR reduction program. Okay, how is achieved? Three C's already we have said. Now, one more bombshell I'm trying to throw today is one, if you understand Vedanta, your ahankara and mamakara, I-ness and minus will be dropped. Kurukshetra war happened. We all know that 17 Akshoini Sainya were there, which runs of thousands or maybe a million or two. Okay, that Kurukshetra war happened. Why? Between Kauravas and Pandavas, all that fine. Between two armies, it has to happen, no doubt. But why Kurukshetra war happened? Because of Ahankara and Mamakara. Because of I-ness and minus. And whenever this I-ness and minus is there, the Kurukshetra war will be happening continuously in our life, inside me. Ahankara and Mamakara. The moment you drop Ahankara and Mamakara, then no problem. And why this Ahankara and Mamakara comes? Because when I attach to body and mind, this Ahankara and Mamakara comes. For it is like this. See, there's a huge tree. Again, you should not take literally. I'm to make you understand, I'm telling. Yeah, there is a huge tree. Then I called a person. A company said, okay, I have to remove this tree because of some reasons. Can you remove the tree? He said, yes, we can remove it. How much? Oh, 800 euros. 800 euros you pay, we cut it and we take everything and we will use the wood we are not going to give you. Oh, 800 bucks, I have to use it. Okay. Then some fellow, one of my friend, when I was discussing, he said, oh, bring an acid, just dig yourself in and around the tree and pour the acid to the roots. In no time, the tree will fall off. Why? Because the roots are getting died. When the roots get died, the tree gets loosened and it gets fallen off. So at the root level, if you cut it, what happens? Then the tree cannot grow mostly, isn't it? So the Vedanta is putting the axe, or it is cutting our ajnana, through which no more problems. The fundamental problems will be resolved by Advaita Vedanta. What is that? Oh, my dear, you have attached yourself to the body and mind. That's why Ahankara and Mamakara has come. That's why Ragadvesha has come. That's why all the sufferings. The moment you disassociate with the body and mind, or rather detach yourself from body and mind, no ahankara mamakara, no I-ness and minus, no I-ness and minus, no war, no battle, no fight. Because of this ahankara and mamakara, what happens? Ahankara means what? Attaching to body and mind complex. When I attach to my body and mind complex, ahankara comes, creeps in. When I attach to the world, objects, others, mamakara comes. Till yesterday, I don't know who is she, who is he. The moment we married, we get engaged, we get married, and we got connected somehow, and he or she becomes our. Yesterday, someone slapped him or her. Oh, maybe out of human concern, we had seen that's all. We have tried something, we had handled, that's it, nothing. But now we got engaged immediately. If someone slaps him or her, immediately we will react. Why? Because he is mine. She is mine. Till yesterday it was not, today it has become. So that minus has entered my mind because of an attachment. So all our battle is what? With ahankara and mamakara, I-ness and minus. When I am attached to my body and mind, that is I-ness. When I attach to the people, the world, objects, for mobile or for a vehicle or what, for the factory, for the house, that is what minus comes. And this, what happens? This will breed raga and dvesha, attachment and aversion or hatred. That's where Sri Ramakrishna tells how to get away this ego, ahankara. Sri Ramakrishna gives it is very difficult. He gives an example of people tree or banyan tree. You chop out the banyan tree, next day or day before, day after tomorrow, you see again there will be small, growing. So it is like our ahankara is so difficult to nip it or destroy it. Then what to do? You convert the unripened ego into the ripened ego. Two ways. One is I am the self, not the body and mind. That's the Gnana Yoga path which we are discussing. The other is the Bhakti Marga is I am the servant of the God. I am the child of the God. I am the friend of the God. That is the Bhakti Marga. So you are converting unripened ego to the ripened ego. So this is what the spiritual sadhana. Because of this ahankara and mamakara, raga and dvesha comes in. What is raga? Attachment. What is dvesha? Aversion or hatredness. Now all these are problems. Oh, I am insecure. I am stressful. I am not happy. I am not blissful. We all keeps on speaking. We all keep on worrying. Why it happens? There can be many reasons, but all the reasons, if you boil it out, there can be only two possibilities. Because of absence of something, because of presence of something, I am unhappy. My peace has become pieces. I am disturbed. I am stressed out. Whatever you say, there can be only two possibilities. Because I love him, he is not there. That's why I am unhappy. So, absence of the loved, absence of the attached ones, absence of the liking ones has bringing me unhappiness. Okay, this is understandable. If I love him or her, so he or she is there, then I'm happy. I love pizza. If pizza is there, I'm happy. If pizza is not there for my lunch or dinner, I am unhappy. For simple example, I'm giving you. The second is, I don't like her. I only wish that I should not see her today. But if she comes, again I'm unhappy. Because of the presence of hating person, hating object or whatever, I am unhappy again. Oh God, please let the boss not come today because he will make my life miserable. Oh God, please no. If the boss comes, unfortunately, then fortunately or unfortunately, I am unhappy. So because of absence of some liking ones, I am unhappy, or because of the presence of unliking ones, I am unhappy. This raga and dvesha, attachment and hatred or aversion, this comes. This is the son and the daughter of the ahankara and the mamakara. Ahankara and mamakara is father and mother, and the son and the daughter is what raga and dvesha. All our problems, insecurity, existential problems, psychology speaks of lot of these things: insecurity, fear, anxiety, existential problems, all of them is because of raga or dvesha. And this raga and dvesha comes because of ahankara and mamakara. Why? Because I am attached to body and mind, I am attached to world. Because I am thinking that I am this Shantivrat, I am Shantivratananda, means this body has been named as Shantivratananda, but I think I am Shantivratananda, which is attached to body and mind. I am suffering. So Vedanta is asking it. This body is named as Shantivratananda. Body is an instrument, my dear, but you are that self. When the moment you disassociate with the body and mind, you detach yourself from the body and mind, then where is the problem? There's a beautiful story. Someone asked, a aspirant asked Ramana Maharshi, how can I be happy? He said, drop that I, you can be happy. Means that I is referring to attached to body mind complex. Or experience the I, you can be happy. That I is referring to consciousness. Now you can understand how Vedanta can help us. So by studying Vedanta, you should come above, you should go beyond likes and dislikes. Necessity is different from likes and dislikes. I need food. Food is a necessity, but I need a particular food. Particular type of food is only likes and dislikes. So when Raga and Dvesha, the son and the daughter of the Ahankara and Mamakara, is not there, what happens? There are no emotional disturbances. Today, one youngster who has come from India. Just he has come 3 days over. He's saying, how are you? He asked. He said, Swamiji, I am not good. Hare, 3 days over, just you have come 3 days, just college has started. Why are you? Because I am missing my home. I am missing my parents. I am missing my Indian delicacies. Then asked, better my dear, why did you come to study? Then why are you not doing it, my dear? Start doing it. See, likes and dislikes. Then I said, if you're that, you would have stayed back in India and you could have continued. Means you are not serious about your goal. You are not strongly holding into your goal. That's why all these ideas are coming, thoughts are coming, feelings are coming. My dear, stop this. Stop thinking all these things. Hold on to your ideal. You have come to do your master. Do the master in a better way. Get a right job. That is your goal you have come. So hold on to that. These things can be reduced. See, because of the likes and dislikes, he is suffering or I am suffering, XYZ is suffering. The likes and dislikes comes from where? Ahankara and Mamakara. So when the mind gets disturbed, why? Because the liked thing may go, I may lose the liked ones, liked things or whatever. And my mind is disturbed, why? Because the presence of some hatred ones or whatever. Now, if you see the Arjuna's case, in the Arjuna first chapter, if you see Bhagavad Gita, he gives us such a beautiful narration about the pros and cons of the war. So many people think that, oh, Arjuna was such a beautiful man, rightful man. Krishna misled him and he was a cause for to happen the Kurukshetra war. But it is not so. It was a misguided intellect there. Anyhow, now he was a Maharati. Arjuna was a Maharati. Maharati means what? He is capable of fighting with 10,000 people at a time. That's the definition of Maharati. In the millions of people, there were only 18 people in the Kurukshetra war. Among them, Arjuna was the one person, but because of his Ahankara and Mamakara, he ended with a Vishada. He was sorrowful, he was morose, he was crying. Then after hearing the wisdom, after the hearing the talk, discourse of Krishna, what did he say? Nashto moha smutir labda tat prasadan ma achyuta. Ye achyuta, by your grace, by hearing your discourse, Gita discourse, what happened? My nashto moha smutir labdva. My moha, delusion has been nashta, it has been destroyed. Smutir labdva. My intellect, my thinking has been restored. So by studying Vedanta, what happens? A fool will be reduced. One fool will be reduced. What is that foolishness? I am the body and mind. Instead of that, I am the self. And for the other see extreme is Krishna. Krishna was he didn't had anything to achieve, but still poor man he had become a driver of this friend Arjuna, but he was disturbed, unperturbed. Why? Because he knew very clearly who is he. I am that indestructible subject, Deva, conscious principle. Arjuna knew, that's why he was detached. Whereas Arjuna, he was not aware of that. That's why he was attached. He had his skills. He was an intelligent person. He was an educated person. He was capable person. All that fine. But he was suffering because of the attachment. That's how Vedanta helps us. Ahankara, because of the wrong thinking, Ahankara and Mamakara, father and mother, the son and the daughter is what? The Raga and Dvesha. Because of that, we suffer. We are perturbed. We are disturbed. We are not peaceful. We are not calm. All things as all the products, byproducts comes. So Vedanta is like nip at the bud. It is trying to break the what do you say? The cut the tree at the root level. It is trying to do. That is the efficacy of the Vedanta. If you can think and if you can put into practice, I can be happy at given circumstances, in the courts, in the given circumstances. So may the God bless us, every one of us, or the Atman bless us. We cannot say that because I am that Atman. So let us try to understand and experience, or rather, I am that Atman, or rather, in the strict language, let us try to remove this ignorance. I am that Brahman already, nothing to be understood only. I have to remove the misunderstanding. Let us remove the misunderstanding. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Rama Krishna Arpanamastu. Yeah, if you got any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Maharaj, I have like one question.
Mm.
So, like, I mean, like, we have been listening to these lectures for like quite some time, but the thing is, the truth is so simple,
Mm,
but yet we can't live with this truth. We have been, we are listening to the same truth again and again in different ways, but still we aren't being able to live this truth.
mm,
I mean, that's because of the impurities of our mind,
mm,
which is actually hindering us from actually living the truth. So, like, for a young child who is being born and brought up in an environment where where the child's parent is imparting this Upanishadic knowledge from the very beginning,
mm.
is it easier for that child to accept the truth, or it also depends a lot on his past life impressions?
There is a conducive atmosphere because in the young days itself, they have, I mean, exposed and all, there are chances of developing things. But see, he or she is, I mean, exposed to this Vedantic things, teaching from the early childhood, no doubt. But one has to practice it. If they've heard like any science, maths, physics, and that's it. If that is the case, until otherwise there is the interest in that and putting into practice. Without that, I mean, it is not helpful. But yes, if you are from your young age, if you are our childhood days, if you are exposed to these things, if you can put into practice, that will be a great help. Now, more than that, the interesting point here is you said there, you asked that how to live with this truth. So why are you thinking that how to live with this truth? You are the truth. I am not supposed to live with the truth. I am the truth. Satyam Gnanam Anantam Brahma Satyam. I am the truth. I am that Brahman is what? Brahman and I is not two different things. Like I and truth are not two different things. I am the truth only. Now you say, yes, well, Swamiji, all this fine. When we hear Upanishad class, everything fine, looks very well. But after the class, when we start working with the world or interacting with the world, then this truth will become untruth. Why? That is because, as you said, the lack of purification of the mind. Or rather, in the Vedantic language, lack of sadhana chatushtaya sampannata. The four prerequisites, Vedanta keeps on saying that. That is very important. The more and more you acquire the four prerequisites, you means again your mind acquire the four prerequisites, then you'll be able to reflect it. Your mind will be able to reflect it. Your mind will be able to assimilate it. Just like any physics, by knowing what is current, you are not going to become current. But in Vedanta, by knowing I am that, you are already that, only you are removing the ignorance. But now, why I am not able to hold on to it? Because of the lack of sadhan chatushtaya sampannata, four prerequisites. You acquire it, then it is possible. Yeah.
Yes, Maharaj, thank you.
Mhm. Yeah, go ahead, Rajeshri.
Pranam Maharaj. Uh, so I had this question that, so as you said, in the Rishi is saying that Brahman is not an object of knowledge, and therefore we have to understand it is the subject, not object. Not
Yeah.
object means subject. But there is, like, if we think in terms of sentences, like you have subject, object, and then a relation or some action. So
Mm.
when we are saying it is not an object, then
Mm.
what is the relation between subject and object? Like we are talking about the subject, but not the relation of subject and object.
Yes. No, this is a very important question. I mean, an interesting question, very subtle question, which we speak. I think in Brahma Sutra we discuss this. Okay. Now, when Upanishad makes a statement, "Oh my dear, please know that Shrunvantu Ishve Amrutasya Putraha." Oh my dear children, please listen. You are that immortal bliss. You are the son of immortal bliss, or you are that immortal Amrutasya Putra. You are that okay, son of immortal bliss. You are that Atman. Okay, you are saying that. I mean, today I think I read somewhere, it's beautiful. Batman. Batman, after hearing Vedanta, what happened? He removed the B. I am the Batman, I am the Batman, he was saying. After listening to the Vedanta discourse, he removed the B, it seems. What happened? I am the Atman, I am the Atman. Okay. Now, then I said, okay, I am the Atman, you are the Atman, we said. Fine, all this, and Atman is the only true, you said. Then what about this world? The question comes immediately, what about this world? Then we say, oh, world is an appearance. Then how did it came? Why did it came? When did it came? Upanishad has got its own theories. Okay. After making that, then your inquisitiveness is been quenched to a certain extent. Then Vedanta will take you the first step, one step further that, my dear, whatever you are seeing, that percepting, it is all illusion, it is an appearance. Actually, the Brahman and Brahman alone exist. Then you go step further, they say, consciousness is appearing as the Brahman. Sorry, consciousness is appearing as this world. The appearance, the world which is there, it is also in the consciousness only. Finally, there is only consciousness. Now, at the beginning, if I make this statement, how much ever I say, maybe Swami, but I'm seeing here the world, because which is more palpable, which is more experienceable, which is more truthful. So, how can you say that it doesn't exist? So, that's where from the known truth, we take to the unknown truth. Again, known truth, unknown truth is a contextual here. So, that's why Brahman and the world, Brahman and world exist two different realities. Then, after we say Brahman alone is true, the world is an appearance. Then you go the further, one more step ahead. Brahman is appearing as world. Then afterwards say Brahman and Brahman alone exist.
So therefore, it is neither subject nor object. Like this, even this subject-object duality is also at a lower level.
Yes, yes, yes. To make you understand only, I mean, to make us understand only, they're denying it.
They're
It's
denying.
not the object.
Yeah.
To say I am the subject, there should be something reference, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. If there is no object, then there is no subject as well.
Yes.
And the second question is that if knowledge, if it is not known, then why is the word Brahma Gyani used? Like it is not a Gyan to be obtained, then why enlightened being is called a Brahma Gyani?
Because Ajnana Nash has happened. The ignorance has been removed. When there is no darkness, what is the other option? It is only light.
Light.
So his ignorance has been removed. Rajarshi's ignorance has been removed. That Rajarshi's body and mind, whatever that ignorance was there, that has been removed. That means what? Rajarshi has become knowledgeable now. He attains Brahmagnana, we use in a very natural, I mean, a very limited sense actually. We're not supposed to tell that actually. Then when I say someone attains Brahmagnana means what? His Ajnana has been removed actually. It is a negative sense actually there.
Negative sense.
So his ignorance has been destroyed, removed. That's all actually happens. Vedanta is trying to remove that ignorance. That's all. You don't get any new jnana. Only your ajnana is removed. That's all.
The veil is removed.
Yes.
Okay. You said there are three causes for which people study Advaita Vedanta. Like somebody wants to be free from the cycle of birth and death, or somebody wants to achieve immortality. But if somebody is not interested in being free from birth and death or immortality, but somebody is interested in knowing what actually this is, that could also be another cause, right? I'm not interested about birth and death, whether I will be free or not, but I want to know what is real.
Not really. After knowing what? Why you want to know?
Just because of like the seeking truth, but not seeking any fall out of it.
Okay, then any that the phala will come whether you want or not. It comes. Okay, yeah. You can say that because I want to know the truth. What is the truth? What is that eternal truth? What is that unifying truth? What is the center of the truth? I want to know. So I am trying to pursue Vedanta. Yes, that is also possible. Yes. So I'm not interested in immortality. Then you say that, okay, after knowing what happens, the individuality, if it dissolves, then what happens? You will get immortality. Otherwise, the people might say that, oh no, that they will hold on to that and saying that I will take birth, I will try to know something else or whatever. Then I will try to know something else will not happen there. When you know yourself, you will never have the any more idea of knowing something else. If something else is there, then you are not known yourself.
Okay.
So this idea, this question comes why, when you take Advaita Vedanta as one more academical subject or one more subject of any other like science, maths or thermodynamics or astrophysics or whatever, or biology or urology, any logy, I mean, any studies you can take. So they're all academical things. For example, by studying a fish, you are not going to become fish.
Yes.
Isn't it? For example, but here by knowing Atman, I mean, again, literally, I mean, a very limited sense I'm using, I will become Atman here. The difference is different here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you.
Maharaj, I have like one more question.
Hmm.
Like in terms of like explaining this duality, that this is not actually a duality, but this is the non-dual truth appearing as subject and object. We often compare it with the dream,
Mhm.
swapna,
Mhm.
uh, that the subject and the object both are actually the mind. It's
Mhm.
actually non-dual. But like uh, when a dream ends, we finally wake up and get to know the truth. But here the case is, in a dream, we are trying to realize that this is a dream, right?
Okay.
So like, is there any argument against this? Like, what's the basis of comparison of a dream with the um the Pratibhasika Satya. I mean the Vyavaharika Satya.
No, I think, just you have to rethink yourself and you have to put your question properly. So, what is the
And
connection between the waking state and the dream state? Are you asking, or what is
yeah,
the connection between the dream state and the like Turiya Avastha? Are you asking?
yeah. So that is like, what is the basis of comparison? Because uh once the dream ends, we
No, no,
we
don't
wake up.
explain me. Don't explain me. What is your question? You ask me.
I'm asking the basis of comparison.
Okay. Okay. Now, avastatre vichara, when you say, so we are making a it is not a discriminate discussion, you can say, discussion on the state of consciousness. Consciousness exists. I am that consciousness. Okay. Consciousness does exist in the waking state. Or what exists in the waking state? Your body exists, your sense organs exist because it is available, your mind exists, the objects exist. Okay. Then when it comes to dream state, your world exists for you. Whether world exists or not, I don't know. Whether does it exist for your experience? No. Or the world which was available for your experience in the waking state, that same world is not available for your dream state. First point. Okay. What about your sense organs of knowledge and action? Not available. Then what about your mind? Yes, available. Okay. What about your awareness, consciousness? Available. Okay. Then it comes to sushupti, deep sleep state. So external world, not. Sense organs, no. Mind, no. Awareness or consciousness, yes. Because once I get up, I tell I had a good sleep. Because of your presence of awareness or consciousness, only you can say that I had a good sleep. Otherwise, there was no possibility. So there is only one thing which is available, which is present in all these three states of experience. In the Sushupti, Swapna or Jagrada Avastha, that is that consciousness which is there in all these three states of consciousness, which is beyond that also. Turiya is a fourth state, we say, again, for comparison sake or contextually, Turiya is not the fourth state, which is there everywhere basically. So the consciousness exists in all that. That is why it is Nitya and Satya, to make us understand that the Upanishad takes the what do you say discussion of the Avastatraya. So which is available in all these three states of existence. There's only one thing which is Atman or the Brahman or the here Deva in the Kena Upanishad. But the mind, body, sense organs are not available. So that's why they are not real. The reality is what? The Atman, Brahman alone.
Okay.
Mhm.
Are
Yeah.
there any arguments of like other schools of philosophy against this, like comparing Sushupti and comparing Swapna and Jagrata Avastha?
Especially Buddhism has got some arguments. Buddhism has got some arguments with the dream experience and the deep sleep, whatever we tell Advaita Vedantis. Based on that, some arguments are there from the Buddhism. That's all I am aware, but I'm not aware of any other schools they have got, because they're not interested in these things. They have got their own specializations of their interest. So as I know, only Buddhism has got.
Okay, Maharaj, thank you.